These towers in GTA 4 have a very dark history in real life. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap that dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Shouts out to Gator Keys. Let's see what it's hitting for.
These towers in GTA 4 have a very dark history in-game and in real life. There is a reason why whenever you enter these buildings you will see the words "Welcome to Hell" written on the walls. And by the end of this video you will know exactly why Rockstar describes this place as hell. You will also know why the words RIP CJ, Tommy and Claude are written on the walls inside these buildings. Because this still remains a mystery to this day, but it is fairly easy to explain. But first of all, let's learn about these buildings. So this is actually a housing complex, and in GTA 4 they're called the Governor Greg Johnson Projects. A few missions across the Ballad of Gay Tony, The Lost and the Damned, and GTA 4 do take place here. The main one being the Holland Play, specifically if we decide to go after Dwayne instead of Playboy. Dwayne owns an apartment inside this housing complex. We end up breaking into his apartment and shooting him dead. This is also the location of a Most Wanted mission where we go into this housing complex and kill somebody else inside their apartment. So you can already see the main theme here. People are dying inside this building. The same building that's considered hell. Now you can enter and wander about these buildings whenever you want in free roam. The corridors are covered in blood, the rooms are covered in blood, the pillowcases and the mattresses are covered in blood. Not to mention the off-putting graffiti all over the walls, this entire place seems like a crack den. And that's because this entire housing complex is based on a real-life housing complex in Harlem, New York. These towers in real life are called the Polo Grounds Towers. Now don't get me wrong, this location isn't as bad today in current day. It's still a rough place and I wouldn't advise it, but it's nothing compared to what this location was like in the 1980s, the 1990s, and the early 2000s when this game was made. The Polo Grounds Towers are notorious for their extremely high crime rates and murders. For most of its life, it's been a hotspot for gangsters, drug dealers, junkies, and pretty much anything you can imagine.
I cannot imagine living in some shit like this, bro. Living on the top floor, nigga, you gotta take an elevator every day up and down that bitch. Hell no.
Imagine. And it has been like that for decades. If you've ever seen the movie called Paid in Full, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, as that movie is set in the same part of New York and is loosely based on a real story in Harlem in the 1980s. To summarize it for you, it's a lot of killing over drugs and people dying inside their apartments. Now, a quick fun fact for the people who are wondering why it's called the Polo Grounds Towers.
Man, if I lived in some shit like that, boy, what? Back in the day, boy, we would have been street rich, nigga, on mamas, boy. Nigga, you tell me I live in this big ass apartment building with how many people stay? 10,000 people probably live in this bitch. Nigga.
Before these towers were built, there was actually a stadium in this location called the Polo Grounds.
That's easy trapping, nigga. Like, they ain't even. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta leave the building, nigga.
Originally built for the sport polo, but ended up being primarily a baseball stadium, though other events like boxing and football games did occur here. Teams like the Giants, the Jets, and even the New York Yankees played at this stadium. Basically, it was once a huge part of New York City's history, until they eventually had a huge decline in income, and the stadium was demolished in 1964. The Polo Grounds Towers housing complex was then built here in 1968. Brief history lesson over. Now, I did say earlier that the Polo Grounds Towers is a lot better than it used to be, and that's true. Crime has decreased here ever since 2014, but people still die. In 2023, somebody was shot inside one of these towers. In 2024, there was a man stabbed and another resident shot, in two separate incidences only hours apart. But the most famous killing in this location was a triple murder in 1995. Now, trigger warning, but you should know that already if you've made it this far into the video. In 1995, a group of masked men went into this housing complex and killed 3 members of a family. To be specific, the 3 members killed were 2 adults and a child. The killers then robbed the apartment and allowed the other 3 children to live, but obviously they were left in a blood-soaked apartment. A dark and tragic event that really does explain how bad this location was. And everything I've just said to you is the reason why Rockstar consider this place as hell. Welcome to hell. But this isn't just because of the murders and the crime rate, it's also because of the conditions of the towers. The housing complex itself was actually dangerous. Between 2004 and 2008, which was while GTA 4 was in development, every single elevator inspection, 75 of them, failed.
God
And in
damn.
2007, in this housing complex, 11 people were trapped in an elevator for 2 hours. Back then in New York, a lot of the elevators were not
no,
maintained.
that's probably one of my biggest fears is getting stuck in that elevator, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's probably one of my biggest fears. I don't like that shit. Hate elevators.
So a lot of them had problems, which might even explain why we can't use the elevators in this building in GTA 4
Hell, I
free mode.
almost got stuck in one too. Whenever I first started working at Amazon, they sent my ass downtown, nigga, and power was like out. I don't know if I know one time the power was out and I didn't even get to go up it type shit. I was like stuck down in the lobby type shit. But I don't think I've been stuck in one. It might have took a while to open, but
Something else about elevators,
like
during the
elevators.
mission A Long Way to Fall, the elevators are out of order in a different apartment complex.
Shit, man. He's up on the top floor, apartment 151K. You have to walk the last few floors. Elevator don't go up there. They're fixing it up.
Just something I realized while making this video, that's definitely a reference to the elevators not being maintained at the time this game was made. But back to the towers we were initially talking about. You now know the entire dark history of this location in real life. And you now know why Dwayne lives here, because this is the only place he can afford. But now it's time to finally look at the strange graffiti found inside these buildings, specifically the RIP CJ, Tommy and Claude. The posts online I've seen about this, people have taken it literally. They believe that this means Tommy, CJ and Claude are dead. Now before I tell you what this actually means, let me tell you how that's not possible. All three of these characters are protagonists from games that are in the 3D universe. The 3D universe is completely different to the HD universe. So everything we did in San Andreas, Vice City and GTA 3 is non-existent in the universe of GTA 4, 5 and 6. Rockstar can still leave references and Easter eggs, for example the things in Franklin's house, or having Claude as a father in GTA Online, but they are not canon to each other. So it doesn't make sense for 3D universe characters to have literally died in the HD universe. Now I know that seems like an obvious thing to say, but it seems like a lot of people online just don't understand that. Now let me tell you what this graffiti actually means. It's a fairly simple message left in the game from Rockstar. They're telling us that the time of the 3D universe is over. That we're now in the HD universe and we're not going back. Think about it for a minute. GTA 4 is the first ever GTA game set in the HD universe. This was a huge step forward for Rockstar, but don't get me wrong, the 3D games are still amazing. But GTA 5 was never going to be in the 3D universe, GTA 6 was never going to be in the 3D universe, and GTA 7 will never be in the 3D universe. We're not going back, and that's exactly what these messages mean on the walls. Tommy, CJ and Claude are not dead, but their time is over. And GTA 4 was the groundbreaking game that sealed that. So that's all this graffiti is, it's just a memorial of the older games. So that is everything on the inside and the outside of these towers covered, including their dark past. I definitely learnt a lot while making this video, but if you enjoyed, drop a
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. What's your favorite GTA, bro? Mine's San Andreas, bro. I never really played any other GTAs other than GTA San Andreas. I played a little bit of GTA 4 and then GTA 5. Those are the only ones I've ever played though. I haven't played any other ones, which is crazy. I've seen clips of the videos of the other ones that weren't as goated. I don't know what came after San Andreas to, because they had a GTA 3, I believe, right? I don't know. I know they had different games though, but my favorite is San Andreas, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap that dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at y'all on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP the name.